Hi, happy morning everyone. Welcome to a creative learning platform, Wisdom Era Academy. I hope we are providing an excellent platform for you of the people to learn something different from another academies. As you know already, I will teach you of the people the subject of social science that deals with society. Let us in this class you will be able to learn the very important chapter for the examination point of view. For your future examinations, it is called as rise of different religions. What are the religions I can teach? I will give you introduction. You can identify yourself. See, before going to the topic, I will give you introduction. As you know already, India is a land of many religions. India is a land of different traditions. India is a land of cultural aspects. As a result of this, we can see different kinds of religions like Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Islamic religion, whatever it may be, the different religions existed here in India. So means why? It is the proof for identification of the diverse religions nourished the system of the society. Because during the time of 5th century, 6th century, the people had the superstition in their minds. Means what? Those people, they were thinking on unscientific ways. As a result of this, to eliminate such kind of religious contradictions and confusions, to eliminate such kind of social evils, new religions took birth in the 6th century. You will be able to learn what are those religions. Before that, I will give you a small introduction for what are the religions you may be able to learn in this class. See, during the time of 6th century, the society is totally based on Varna system. The 4 Varnas existed in the society. The different Varnas performed different duties. What are the different Varnas existed in an ancient society means, the very important Varna systems are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras. Let us come to the very first one, very first layer of the society, that is called as Brahmana. Brahmana, he performed his own duty and in an hierarchical method of society, those people had the very first place. Means Brahmana comes in very first position, Brahmana comes in first list. Means what? What he is performed. Brahmana performed his duty, for example, performing yagnas. Brahmana, he teach to the people and he had the guidelines to the society, he had the guidelines to the people how to lead one's life in the society. Like Brahmana is the first person Brahmana is the first layer of an ancient society. Brahmana participated in the yajnas and yagas. Brahmana performed different yajnas, yagas, and he had his own duty, and Brahmana guided to the people. Brahmana guided to the ruling class. What was the ruling class of ancient people? The second layer it is called as ruling class. What is the second layer? Kshatriya. Kshatriya is the second class, second layer of the ancient society. Kshatriya, he ruled the another class of the people, means Vaishyas and Shudras. So I will give you enough information about Vaishyas and Shudras later. But you pay attention here. Kshatriya ruled the Vaishya and Shudra, the another two layer of the society. Means what here for ruling class, Brahmana guided to the people how to rule the society. That's the clear information. I hope you knew the matter of first one is Brahmana. Brahmana performed his yajnas and yagas. And those people, they occupied very first place in the society. Brahmana, he guided to the second layer of the society. That second layer is called as Kshatriyas. So Kshatriya, what was the work of Kshatriya means? Kshatriya ruled the people. Kshatriya provided the different kinds of justice to the people based on different kinds of justifications. The third and foremost important layer of the society is called as Vaishyas. Vaishyas, they performed their own duties. Vaishya performed different kinds of work, different kinds of performance in the society. Means what? Everyone has their own responsibilities in an ancient time. Let us come to the Vaishyas. So Vaishya is the third foremost layer of the society. What was his work means? He participated in animal husbandry. He participated in business activities. Business activities, then animal husbandry, both are underwent under the leadership of Vaishyas. Vaishya is the third layer of the society. The last one important layer of the society is called as Shudras. Shudras were the people, they will belong to the labor class. Means what? Both two sections of the society, both two layers of the society, like Vaishyas and Shudras, they followed the words of Brahmana and Kshatriya. Means what? Brahmana is the foremost person. He guided to the society. The society underwent the leadership of Brahmana. In this way, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, the combination of all these four layers is called as Varna system. The combination of these four layers, these four sections of the society, it is called as Varna system. What is Varna system? All the dear ones, what is Varna system? Varna system means what? The combination of four different group of people, it is called as Varna system. This is the clear point you have. So next one, the social reformers have been identified. Another one layer of the society that is not mentioned in your textbook, that society, that section it is called as untouchables. Untouchables. The word only identifies. Untouchables means they are not eligible to touch. They are not eligible to touch, so those people are called as untouchables. So, in this versatile situation, during the time of 6th and 7th century, the two new religions emerged. The two new religions are called as Jainism and Buddhism. Jainism and Buddhism. Jainism and Buddhism, these are the foremost religions. They wanted to reform the society by their different preachings, by their different philosophies. See, Jainism and Buddhism, they changed the society by their own philosophies or by their own ways. Before going to the topic of Jainism and Buddhism, let us give you some more information about Varna system. So here, the last layer of this society, what we call the Shudras, don't go that side, this side. Everyone, you be here in front of your mobile and you can observe. So what we call like the last layer of the society, Shudras, these people and Vaishyas, these two sections of the society were exploited by Brahmana and Kshatriya. The two layers, the last two layers of the society, Vaishya and the Shudras, they were exploited by Kshatriyas and Brahmanas. So later, in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, I'd like to talk about the two important reasons, because Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, those were the two famous centers. The new religions took birth. The two new religions are called as Jainism and Buddhism. So in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, whenever the people, they practiced different kinds of rituals and practices in the society, they started to practice of the very important system that is called as agriculture. Agriculture. What do you mean by agriculture? The practice of cultivating the land for growing different kinds of crops, it is called as agriculture. The practice of growing different kinds of products, different kinds of agricultural products, it is called as agriculture. Or else, in a simple words, we can say that in a simple sentence, an art of growing different crops is called agriculture. When the agriculture practiced in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh during the time of the 6th century, the people used oxen to practice the society, plowing and tilling the lands. Sometimes the people used oxen for practice of different kinds of religious rituals. Like, we will take the oxen and the oxen is a sacrifice to the religious rituals, for example, Yagnas and Yagas. Whenever people used oxen and some other animals to the implementation of, to improve the system of religious aspects, whenever they used oxen, so many people opposed that kind of violent system of vibration in the society. So for example, whenever oxen were used in the religious ceremony, in the religious rituals, whenever oxen were used for religious rituals, Jainism and Buddhism came into existence. Means what? Gautama Buddha and Mahavira opposed such kind of violent vibrations in the society. Whenever Jainism and Buddhism opposed such kind of religious rituals, consequently, whenever Gautama Buddha opposed this kind of exploitation, then Mahavira also he opposed that kind of exploitation, who were exploited the different animals to use in the religious aspects religious rituals. As a result of this, the people supported and accepted the religions of Buddhism and Jainism. As a result of this, Jainism and Buddhism took birth, and Jainism and Buddhism spread everywhere, and everyone accepted the Jainism and Buddhism. Because of what is the real Dharma? Hello? Real Dharma is what it gives goodness to the society, that is called as religion. Whenever the goodness came into existence from Jainism and Buddhism, the important two sections like Shudras and Vaishyas accepted. Shudras and Vaishyas accepted the Jainism and Buddhism because Mahavira and Gautama Buddha opposed violation made by Brahmana and Kshatriyas. So that's why Shudras and Vaishyas supported to Jainism and Buddhism. Vaishyas and Shudras, whatever the different kinds of religions took birth in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, those people supported to Jainism and Buddhism. See, what were the main factors that were implemented, that were consisted in Buddhism and Jainism means you can be able to identify the four important aspects. The first important aspect is peace. Glorification of peace. The correct. Glorification of peace means what? Peaceful coexistence among all the peoples. Like if we maintain equality and fraternity, liberty among all the sections, like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras, there will be peaceful coexistence among all the peoples. No peaceful, no equality among all these peoples, no equal opportunity among all these sections. How can we expect the peaceful coexistence? Is this possible? It's highly impossible. So, the first one is glorification of peace. The second one is tolerance. Means what? Maintaining equal facilities, maintaining equal opportunities to all the sections, like what we are learning, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras, all the Varnas. The third foremost important one is non-violence, against violence. Violence means violenting the person or violenting the people, like exploitation, what we call that. For example, Brahmana and Kshatriya exploited the Vaishyas and the Shudras. This is called as violence. The violent way of struggle, the both religions opposed. So third foremost one is human values. What we call that human values? Love, affection, like, sacrifice, help, kindness. What we call this? All these different kinds of values of human being are called as human values. Glorification of four aspects. That is the main theme of Jainism and Buddhism. One is peace, another one is tolerance, another one is non-violence, fourth one is human values. These are the different kinds of religions, like Jainism and Buddhism. Both religions were glorified these four important aspects in the society. See, Jainism and Buddhism, they made another changes in the economic system, political system and social system. What they changed means in an economic system, the people try to give equal opportunities for each and every sections, each and every varnas. That's called as economic system. In the political system, so many people, like whatever it may be, we will take the best example for Buddha. Buddha rejected the luxurious life and he sacrificed his kingship for the sake of social welfare activities, for the sake of sacrificing his life towards benefit of social, benefit of society, benefit of population who are existed in India. who are existed in Uttar Pradesh. Means what? The personality of Buddha is not belongs to only Indians, he belongs to the world people because the world is followed by Buddha at present days. So next one is the social system. What is the different kinds of exploitations existed in a society? The people opposed that kind of social system. Mahavira and Gautama Buddha totally opposed the social system of society, the social system, in an ancient system of social hierarchies. Like I'll show you that Gautama Buddha and Mahavira's photos now in front of you. See, this is the photography of Buddha. Like the Buddha's early name is called as Siddhartha. Buddha, he woke up from his luxurious life and he came forward to the society. He changed each and every system. Now, Buddha's body is not with us, but Buddha's intellectual aspects, Buddha's rituals, Buddha's preachings, all are alive in the society. Still the philosophy and still the different kinds of teachings preached by Buddha all were alive in the minds of human beings. So that is why there is no death of Buddha's philosophy in the world. So the main theme of society, dear student or dear my people, you learn there is nothing permanent in our life. Nothing is permanent in our life. The permanent aspects are sacrifice, helping nature, kindness, what we are doing in the society, all are permanent. What we have with me, for example, I have BMW car with me, you have Phantom car with me, whatever it may be, those aspects are not permanent because after my death, I can't able to run BMW, I can't able to run Phantom car. So what we are doing to, what we are sacrificing our life to this society, those are permanent. So the last information in this session I can give that if you are not handsome, it doesn't matter. If you are able to give your hand to someone, that's matter. So that's why you can give your hand to someone who needs help in the society. So next session you will be able to learn the personality of Buddha and Jainism and what are its preachings. Thank you one and all. Meet you soon. Bye bye.